Amendment.
Mr. Speaker, turning your attention, Representative True, now to line 5. What is a public construction project?
Representative True, now you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Representative. It's a project with the state or the federal government.
Representative Casal, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Turning your attention to line 6. What is a private construction project?
Representative True, now you're recognized to answer the question, what is a private construction project?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Representative. Any construction project that doesn't deal with the state or the federal government.
Follow up, Representative Casal, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Turning again back to line 6. What would be considered an infrastructure project?
You have a different line of questioning, Representative Casal, because this is fundamental. So do you have a substantive question of the sponsor of the amendment? You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Considering the fact that the amendment is only 2 lines, not providing definitions of what's going to constitute projects, I think is very substantive, and I would like the sponsor of the bill to provide examples of what we consider to be infrastructure projects. I think it's a very substantive question.
Do your best, Representative True, now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Representative. Roads, bridges, work for the state or federal government, interstate projects.
Follow up. Any further follow up, Representative Casal? No follow up. Any other questions of the sponsor regarding Amendment Barcode 445341? Any questions at all? All right. Seeing no further questions, are there any amendments to the amendment?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Any substitute amendments?
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Members, we're in debate. 5 minutes of debate. Representative Casal, you're recognized for debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I do want to thank Representative True now for the bill. I know that the intent behind this legislation is good, but what members don't realize is the problem that we're trying to fix is the fact that over the course of the last 2 years, OIR has added a pop-up to their website that tells Department of Transportation, as an example, when a construction company is applying to do a construction project, the Department of Transportation is looking to determine what level of insurance one has to do the project. When you put in an RRG, which has been recognized and used in the state of Florida for decades, these are recognized insurance companies, member-driven insurance companies. All that has happened and why this bill is necessary is because OIR has a pop-up that they won't take down that says to DOT and other agencies, an RRG is not authorized in the state of Florida, is not an authorized insurance company. As a result of that, a single construction company is losing business. All we need for OIR to do is to remove the pop-up. When you have language that says public and private construction companies, that is every construction project available under the sun. So as an example, you're a nursing home. You're a member of an RRG because it's difficult for nursing homes to get insurance. You apply to the city for a permit to build a fence so your patients don't escape. The city goes and looks and says, wait a second, an RRG is not recognized here in the Florida. This is a private construction project. You need $100 to $250 million of insurance to be able to put up a fence around your nursing home. That is the impact of this bill. This will put out small construction companies. This will put out large trucking associations that are delivering our goods. This will make things more expensive for consumers because if it costs more to deliver the goods, if it costs more to bring the goods to the project, guess who pays that bill? Consumers. RRGs were also created at times when the marketplace did not provide insurance. As a result of that, RRGs are actually the only check on traditional insurance companies when it comes to competition and fair market price. So there already is competition. RRGs create that, and by mandating a requirement on RRGs that we do not require on our authorized insurance companies in the state of Florida means they go out of business. This is also unconstitutional because we're preempted by the federal government, amendment, but I'm going to save that portion of my debate tomorrow. As it pertains to the amendment, when we are talking about public and private construction companies, we're not just talking about the big guys. We're talking about the little guys that are installing light bulbs on behalf of the city. This bill will now require them to carry $100 to $250 million of insurance. This will mean these companies go out of business. We are going to be creating a commercial auto insurance crisis on top of our current property insurance crisis. I urge you to vote down.
Other members.